With school being out around the corner, we gotta get ready for all of those summertime activities. So I thought I'd put together a video full of outdoor activities that you could do with your kids. Hey you guys, it's Christina from the Purple Alphabet. We're gonna take it outdoors today, and I'm gonna show you some activities that you can do with your kids while playing outside. I really hope to inspire you and give you some ideas and inspirations to take your play and learning into the great wide open outdoors. So if you have any ideas that you suggest, please leave them down below in the comments. And if you are watching, you might want to check out the comments too to see what other ideas other people have. If you're new here, say hello, leave me a comment letting me know you're new. I like to shout out all of my new subscribers. And if you aren't new here, hi too. Glad to have you back. Make sure to click subscribe because we do educational activities for kids and lots of ideas and inspirations to learn through play. So let's take it outside and do some activities. I have so much to show you and I'm very excited. The first is this. It's called the Original Rocks game. It was given to me when I was at a YouTube conference, and it's really just a take on old school jacks. Now I like it because all of the characters are really cute. They have several different styles. The one I got had all of these little animals on them and I thought they were adorable. I like the feel of them, the weight of them, the texture of them. They are really pretty. They do come in many more different sizes, and they're collectible too if you want to collect different ones and different set. I was really impressed with the variety. So this game is just like you would play jacks, where you throw one up and try to catch more in your hand. There is a pretty big learning curve on this. I will have to admit it took me several times to get it. And if you look on the insert that comes with the game, there's several other options to play this as well. So I just practiced really hard and throwing it up and trying to catch it. And as you can see, yeah, it took me a long time to get the hang of it. But once I did, you would not believe how accomplished I felt. So here's the rule book, lots of different ways to play this game, and I think this is a perfect outdoor on the grass kind of game. Next up is a color match in nature. Now all you really need is a notebook or a piece of paper and some crayons. The crayons that work best are the ones that have many different colors in them, and you just go on a little scavenger hunt finding the different colors in nature and matching up the color. And in your notebook or on your piece of paper, you're gonna just draw a little swatch of what you found. I think this is a really interesting one because it's an observation activity, whereas a lot of children don't necessarily really look at the different colors or shades. If you have a younger child, just stick with the basic colors, you know, the colors of the rainbow. But if you have a little bit older child, maybe kindergarten up, you can start introducing the different shades. I've also seen this activity done with paint chips. I'm not quite a fan of just taking the paint chips from Home Depot, but if you buy the paint chips, it's also a fun activity to do, like a whole book of them. And you can find some pretty interesting colors in nature as you go along, and I think it really sparks some creativity on this one. Next up are these glove bubbles. Have you guys tried these? I asked if you guys liked them in my last learning store shop with me, and some of you said they're pretty good. So I was also given a whole bunch of these from the YouTube summit that I went to. They gave me several different packets to try, so I was really curious to give it a go on my own to see if they work. So I have 3 different ones to show you. The first is this one pack that comes with the glove and then also the bubble solution inside. You just rip open the package, which is actually going to be your glove. These come in a couple different styles and different animals, and then inside is your bubble solution. So you're going to use the glove to actually blow your bubbles. So you just take off the top, the packaging first, which is what they use in the store to hang it up, and then you go ahead and take your bubble solution and pour it into the pouch they provide. So here's the big pouch right here, and it actually has a Ziploc on it, so you just kind of open it up to get the bubble solution inside, which is also in 2 little individual packets. So you take those packets and you pour them inside your pouch, your resealable pouch, and this is where you're gonna dip your glove into. Now the pouch, I will have to say, was a little bit hard to hold and to maneuver, so I will warn you against that. I used some scissors to open up the bubbles and just poured them in. I think it might work better if I had a tray so that it wouldn't fall over, because we had a few spills, so just be forewarned. Then you can also seal this up if you wish to use it again, but all you do is you put your hand inside the glove and then you stuff the glove inside the bubble pouch to get the bubbles on the glove. I was a little skeptical skeptical to see if this would work, but once I got it saturated and pulled it back out, I'm going to give it a little wave here, which is kind of hard to show you on camera, to show you that there are a lot of bubbles just from waving. So I think this definitely works. Now my kids did play with this and they had a grand time with it, but this was great. And then once you're done, after several waves, you put it back into your bubble pouch and you bring it back out and do it again. And you're getting several bubbles with each wave, not just one wave or two waves. I did several here and you can see they're still going. So I want to try the other one. This one had some bubble solution inside, so I'm just going to open it up here and it's just a little tear. And this one is for the bigger bubbles. Now if you remember, a long time ago I did a toy test on one of these cheaper dollar ones and it didn't really work well. I didn't have much luck, but this one was pretty interesting. And then this is to make your bubbles. Now we're talking the big size bubbles, and so it's really cute. I like how it's all packaged. Still hesitant if it's going to work, so I'm going to open up my bubble solution here with some scissors and then just dump it into my pouch. Once again, I kind of wish I had maybe a tray to put my bubbles in, because we had a few spills with this one too, but luckily we had some extra bubble solution to put inside and it worked just fine. Then you take your bubble wand, I guess is what you call it, bubble string, and you submerge it inside to get it very saturated. Next, you're going to take it, open it up, and do really big bubbles. This was hard to catch on camera, but I'm telling you, this blew huge bubbles and I was very impressed. And then they also have this other one that comes in a kit of 2 for the bubble gloves. And so you can have one for each hand to get even more bubbles, and it worked just the same as the one for the one hand that I showed you at first. This definitely was a lot of fun and I highly recommend adding a little spice to your bubble blowing this summer. Next activity I have for you is a really simple one that you can do with some chalk. I'm creating a target on the concrete here. You can do on the sidewalk, on the driveway, in the street if you don't have cars going by. Make the target what you wish it to be. I'm going to use numbers. You can do letters. You can do points for each one, but I'm doing the traditional bullseye. And this way my kids can learn how to add up points. I'm going to give them 3 shots with each one. You could use traditional bean bags to toss your bag onto the target, or you could even use rocks that you find around the yard, which I think is what is a lot of fun, which I'm doing right here. And you just add up your points as you're taking turns. Maybe you each get 3 rocks. Very simple, very effective, very easy, and they love it. All right, if you like the nature things, this sticky wall is a lot of fun. I've shown this indoors where you take some contact paper from Dollar Tree and a little bit of tape, probably duct tape would work, tape it up to a fence, to a wall, what have you, and you find loose items in nature and stick it to your collage for a sticky wall art nature collage. Once again, super simple and very easy. Just make sure to tell your children that you're not picking things that are live, you're using items that have already fallen to the ground. You'll be surprised at what they found and what they create. All right, I really do like this one. If you have some rocks, these are ones that we mined when we went kind of gold mining. And it was a lot of fun. So you're just creating a rock maze with some rocks. Maybe you have some already. If not, Dollar Tree has a whole bag of them. And then you can take some trucks or some cars, and after you've designed your maze with the rocks, you can take your vehicles and drive them on through. I really like this because it's limitless in the creativity and how much rocks you have. It can be part of nature if you're using rocks that maybe you already have in your yard, and your children can go search for the rocks. Like I said, if you don't have them, don't worry. You can also use sticks. If you have sticks, leaves, just anything to create a maze-like path. This one was sent to me by Play Monster. It's the fairy gardens. Gardening outside is an amazing activity. The kids like it. You're learning about life cycle activities. They sent me 2 different kits, one's larger, one's smaller, plus some extra fairies. I like that I had a booklet that told you what to do step by step, and it was very simple. I do like that they also included a life cycle sheet here so you can learn all about the life cycle of a plant, which is very important to get that little learning in so they understand what's happening. All I needed to do was get a bowl of water and to soak my soil in. The soil got saturated by the water, and we were able to put it inside our little pots that they provided, our fairy gardens. So I put the fairy gardens together, and then you can add your soil into your fairy garden pieces. So we had a couple more soil discs for the larger set. which was the My Fairy Garden Magical Cottage, and then we had one of the soil pucks for the My Fairy Garden Tree Hollow. We just had to make sure we spread all of the soil around each one of the fairy gardens or the tree hollow evenly. And then once we did that, we added our seeds all around into the soil, gently patted it down, and made sure we gave it a good sprinkle of water. Now this definitely has to grow, so watch my Instagram and I'll try to remember to send you some updates on how our fairy gardens went. I just think this is a really fun activity to do outside. It involves gardening, learning about life cycles, and it's fairy garden so they can play with it even after it's grown with all of the accessories. That was actually the best part, decorating the fairy garden with the accessories. My next activity for you is a simple water transfer, and I kind of showed you this in my water squirter activity where you can have 2 buckets and you're transferring one bucket of water into the other. And what's great is even for younger kids, you can just make it that simple, just transferring water from one to the other, and I'm guaranteeing you they're gonna like it, especially those toddlers and preschoolers. You can even use a cup. You could also use a cup or a squirt gun or other kind of water vessel. And if you want to make it more interesting for the older kids, go ahead and add a relay component to it if you have several kids in the neighborhood, or if it's just your one child, you can also do a timed relay. My next activity is with a few Dollar Tree items. It's a hoop toss. I took some hula hoops and these lovely little water discs from Dollar Tree. You could also use bean bags. You could use rocks. It doesn't really matter, whatever you have outside, and you can do a little ring toss into those rings. I have mine lined up here, but if you get multiple hula hoops, which are also from the Dollar Tree, you can put them all around and have all kinds of different hoops. You can add letters in there and have them aim for the letters, and you can add numbers for points. Let me know if you've tried any of these and if you've had success with them. I like to hear about that, or share it with me over on Instagram too. I love it when you guys send me little pictures and notes of you guys doing the activities. That's just absolutely the best. Click subscribe to see more videos like this. Give me a thumbs up to show your love.